Hi, welcome everyone. This is the School of Leadership Development radio show with your host, Angel Vallejo, here to love, serve, and transform business and life. And I'm really excited today. Today is Wednesday, February 10th, 2021. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for all of you that are showing up today on the live video, and also those of you that are watching the pre-recording. I'm really excited today. We launched a couple weeks ago, and this whole radio show concept is kind of new to me, but I'm excited. And the whole theme around it is leadership. And for the last couple weeks, we've been focusing on this idea of personal growth. Personal growth, and personal growth is something that really comes. It's personal and it takes time. At least for me, it's taking quite amount of time. And for those of you that are watching live, what's up? How's it going? Really excited to have you here today. Go ahead and post on the comments, say hello, reach out or whatnot. And I'm excited. I got a really awesome guest coming on today. And so this whole idea about personal growth and has really been a journey for me. And I know for a lot of us out there that are really seeking more for ourselves and seeking more for our lives. And so I want to say thank you. Thank you for showing up. And this personal growth idea, I've heard it said before that meaningful and lasting growth happens from the inside out. And so a lot of it's personal, right? And it takes time. And so I encourage you guys to stay tuned. We have an awesome guest speaker today. He's one of my mentors. He's been a coach of mine, and he's one of the most consistent gentlemen out there. He puts out a lot of content out there, and I'm always constantly listening to him. And so it's really good to be able to tap in to greatness and to see what other people that are doing, that are working, and that works for other people. So I'm really excited. And so let's see here. Give me one moment. All right. Yeah, so we have none other than Mr. Eric Lofholm coming on here momentarily. And if you know, for those of you that are catching the replay or watching this live, we have I'm at a house right now where we're actually remodeling, and we got a pretty good deal on this remodel, and we're in between homes right now, and so a lot of work that's being done has been making it work from here and there. So we have all right. Hey Eric, can you hear me okay?
Hey Angel, how you doing?
Oh, great, awesome. Yeah, thank you for coming on this radio show live. And again, those of you that I just did a quick introduction of Mr. Eric Lofholm. Eric Lofholm he's one of my coaches, one of my mentors, and I'm deeply humbled to be able to have a few moments of his time. Thank you for coming out today, Eric, and being open to share a few things. And Eric, he's a best-selling author. He is a master sales trainer, and he's also the president and CEO of Eric Lofholm International. So I'm really excited to have you on board today. How's it going?
It's going great. How you doing?
Oh man, incredible. Yeah, I was just sharing earlier. I'm at a house. As you know, I buy and sell real estate. I help others buy and sell. And I have this remodel that I'm working on right now. So if you see behind me, there's a lot of construction going on. And if I have to step away, actually, I have an electrician coming here at the top of the hour. So if he comes, I'm just going to step away for really quick. And I trust that you could, if you're going, keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, so if I do step away, I do apologize in advance. But yeah, we're in for a real treat today, guys. And more or less, I mean, this is just, I know, Eric, you have a ton of wisdom, and I do have some questions drawn out for us. But if you want to just go ahead and kind of just share a little bit, maybe something that most people don't know about you to kind of break the ice.
Sure. Well, I have been training people now professionally since 1999. And one tip that I have for all of you is something that I did back then. I was 28 years old, and I had a vision for my career. And I got into my mid 70s, and I was in my late 20s at the time. And most people, they think 5 years into the future or less. And I created a vision for what I wanted to create with my career. And so something that I want to encourage all of you to consider is having a vision for your career, having a vision for your finances, and having a vision for your health. You know, what do you want your body to be able to do when you're in your 70s or maybe in your 80s or maybe even older? But see, most people don't think like that. And so that's a little golden nugget that's really been instrumental in my lifetime.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. The whole idea of vision, and this show is all revolved around leadership, and vision is one of the main things that leaders have, right, or develop throughout time. So I wanted to start kind of by asking is what is one thing that you wish you would have known when you first got started in your career?
Well, when I was younger, I used to worry a lot. And as I've gotten older, I learned that fear and faith can't coexist. So if I'm in worry, I'm not in faith. And if I'm in faith, I'm not in fear. So I've discovered in my life now, because, you know, we have things that come up. Maybe we have a little cash flow problem, or we have a health issue, or we have this problem or that problem. But worrying about a problem doesn't make it any better. And
Absolutely.
So if I could coach my younger self, I would have said, you know, be more faithful when you're up against worry, panic, and fear, and that'll help you make better decisions.
Yeah, no, that's solid. That's solid. And wow, I wish I would have known that as well, right? Because a lot of times the things that we worry about, sometimes they don't even happen. And it's just, you know, we could spend days and, you know, long moments trying to think about what could happen. But at the end of the day, most of the time it doesn't. It doesn't. So,
And even if it does,
yeah,
worrying about it didn't help it any, right?
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
it's like, whether it happens or not, we're still better off operating from a place of faith, and we're going to think more clearly. You know, you think about, when do we make our worst decisions? Is it when we're operating from faith, or we're in anxiety, we're in fear, we're in doubt, right? And then maybe we make a wrong turn. And so, you know, I've really, through my lifetime, I get anxious about things, and I just tapping into faith. It really helps me to decrease the amount of anxiousness that I feel.
Yeah, no, that's great. I love that you're talking about faith, because my next question is, and this one actually, I was up last night. I was asking, like, what can I ask Eric? Because I know that you have a lot of knowledge and wisdom and stuff. And the question that came up was, how has your relationship with God impacted your career?
I do my best to be obedient to God, and I do my best to serve people, and that has always helped me in my lifetime. If you align your purpose with what you feel God's asking you to do in your life, all kinds of doors have opened for me. When I look back, when I launched at age 28, I was working out of a spare bedroom in my condo. I was basically broke. And I had this big dream that I want to build an international training company, which I did successfully do. But I believe that's directly that happened directly to my relationship with God, and God opened up these various doors for me. And so I don't think, you know, if it wasn't God's will, none of this would have happened. So it's been a huge part of my life. And I just do my best to be obedient and make God proud.
Right. Yeah. No, I do it. And I appreciate, I appreciate you sharing that, because I know I'm on your calls, pretty much. I mean, I was sharing earlier that you're one of the most consistent guys that I know. And I try to make your call as much as I can live. But when when I don't, I do catch the recording. And yeah, so every now and then you do share about what God's doing in your life. And there was the other day you were talking about purpose, and you were sharing was something that I've never heard before. You were saying that you felt that one of your purpose was to be a healer. And
Yeah.
that was interesting, because I mean, being a sales trainer, a motivational guy, and then you said to be a healer. So
Yeah.
if you want to touch on that, cool. If not, then we can keep moving
Yeah.
forward.
Let's
But yeah,
talk about that. I think that one of the questions that people struggle with is, what is my purpose? Right. And,
yeah,
or do I have a purpose, or I don't know what my purpose is. And so I have a couple of answers to that for anybody that's struggling with that. And one is that your brain will answer virtually any question you ask it. So I asked myself one day, what is my purpose? And I kept just sitting with that thought. And then I came up with, my purpose in life is to heal others. And ever since I've thought about that, I come back to what's my core purpose, and it always comes back to that. So that resonates with me. But then I've come to this belief that we have many purposes, and maybe even 1,000 different purposes.
right.
And so, for example, I teach people how to write books, which was never a part of my vision. It's just because I've written 15 books, and I I figured out a way to help people write books. And you're an author, and so I started teaching people how to write books. And then I thought, okay, well, I guess this is one of my purposes in life, is to inspire people to birth their books.
Yeah.
But I'm still a healer, right? And then when I married my wife, this is my second marriage, and she has 2 young children. They're 14 and 15-year-old girls. So part of my purpose is to be an extra dad. We call me a bonus dad, right? So I'm a bonus dad to these 2 young ladies, and that's part of my purpose. So if you really look at it, God's asking us to show up in all kinds of different ways for different people. And if you can embrace that thought and go, wow, I have a lot of purposes. And to me, that's comforting to know that I'm here for a reason. I'm here to make a difference. And that really motivates and inspires me.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, that's great. So for those of us that are watching the replay or watching live, and they're, they might be kind of on this, either starting out or restarting or kind of reinventing themselves, what would be like some words of advice for somebody that's not necessarily where they want to be at yet?
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting question. Like, are we where we want to be? Like, am I where I want to be? Kind of.
Right.
I mean, there's pieces of my life that I'm very happy with, but I'm also, striving for more. And all we can do is today, right? So if you dug yourself a hole, maybe you neglected your health and you're not in great health right now, or you neglected your finances and you're buried in debt, or you neglected your marriage, you neglected whatever, right? And so all we can do is today. And one of the things about happiness equals progress. So if you're making progress, it's going to help you feel happy, to feel, productive. And so what I regularly teach on my daily call is just focus on today. What can you do today to make progress? Because that's all we can do, right? If you're behind on your finances, all you can do is better your finances today, and then tomorrow, and then the next, and then eventually you hopefully you dig yourself out of a hole if you're in a financial hole. And it boils down to this philosophy: do the next right thing. Whatever the next right thing is. Right now, the next right thing for me is to, complete this interview with enthusiasm. And then I'll get to the next thing once this interview is done. But it's just right here, right now. This is my next right thing. And so if you just go through your day and you go through your week and you go through your life and you just keep doing the next right thing, your life's going to continue to get better and better and better and better and better.
That's great. No, that's good. That's really good notes. I'm taking mental notes, and I'm over here wanting to jot stuff down too. No, that's really solid because yeah, we do sometimes we do get caught up on what needs to be done next week or next month, and really neglecting what needs to be done today. And awesome. So in the last couple of weeks, I launched this radio broadcast, and you're uh, one of the big motivators for me to do this because one of the things that you say is get it done. Done is better than perfect.
Right.
And I'm in the middle of this big project behind me. I wish I was settled in, but I'm not. But I know that I have a higher calling in my life. And even though I'm a professional in real estate, I know that there's a calling on leadership on my life. And so what can I do? And I know Art Williams, you quote him sometimes, all you can do is all you can do, right? So I figured this, at least getting out there. And I love speaking in front of audiences and being in front of small groups but the times have changed, and now we're on this online thing and speaking in public, but in different ways. And this is awesome. And this is new to me. And so this whole idea of leadership and bringing it back to personal growth, what does leadership mean to you? When you think of leadership, what does that mean to you?
Well, I'm going to answer that question. I want to touch on what you just said about focusing on completion versus perfection.
Absolutely.
Because the fact that we're doing this right now, you're getting a little bit better, I'm getting a little bit better. It's a micro improvement, and everybody watching, everyone that's watching us, they're having their experience, they're getting a little bit better. And micro improvements, they start stacking on each other and they compound. And so we all learn and grow. And one of the ways we learn is through experiential learning. And some people say, well, I'm not going to launch the podcast yet or the radio show because I'm quote unquote not ready. And I would challenge all of your thinking on that, because when you go out and you make a contribution to the world, that's going to make God proud. Okay. God's smiling on Angel and I right now because we're doing our best to create value for all of you. As it relates to leadership, one way of thinking about leadership is thinking about others. I have a team, I have joint venture partners, I have vendors, I have clients, and it's making decisions and thinking about everybody and thinking about, how's this going to play out for my team, and how's it going to play out for my office manager, and how's this going to work? And it's not just thinking about myself, how do I benefit, right? I need to benefit too if I'm going to be putting energy into something, but how is this going to positively impact my team? And really having that type of leadership where we're making decisions and we're thinking about how our actions are impacting those people around us. And our nature, our favorite thing to talk about is ourselves. So people intuitively, they just look at it from their viewpoint. And I teach this to my kids. Hey, look at it from your parents' viewpoint. Look at it from your brothers and sisters' viewpoint. Look at it from, your cheerleading coach's viewpoint. And it's going to give you a much deeper perspective on what decisions to make. And the last thing I'll say about leadership is it's not a title. You can lead in any position in a company. You could be the person at the front desk. You could be the customer service rep. We can lead in a family. My teenagers can lead, right? We can all lead no matter where you're at in life. And I encourage you to put that hat on and view yourself as a leader, because we're all leaders.
Absolutely. Great. Yeah. Thank you. That's good. I love how you started out by talking about that it's really thinking about other people, because being on this journey of personal growth, sometimes I found myself, it's an inside job, right? So you're learning, you're doing the micro improvements on a daily basis, monthly basis, years go by, and then you realize that it's not all about you. When leadership, the beauty of it is that everyone could be a leader, but then once you realize that you are a leader, you realize that it's not about you, that you're supposed to be sharing it with other people and bringing others along in the process. And so I love that idea about being able to see the people around you, the people that you're working with and engaging with, and adding value to them and bringing them along the journey as well. And so that's awesome. I appreciate that. So, okay, so is there anything that if you were in my shoes that you would ask yourself in this type of interview? Because I don't want to put any kind of limit to what's possible with what you've learned in these last 20, 30 years. So just want to put that out there.
Well, one thing that that you can do in these interviews is you could have a set question that you ask every time. And the question could be, give me your greatest lesson on blank, right? What's your absolute best idea? Like on my podcast, I'll say, what's your best sales increasing idea, right? And I'll just let them say whatever it is that they want to share. One thing that's really inspiring to me, I'll just give a golden nugget. It's a simple concept. Anybody can do it. And it has to do with thinking in combinations. And so if you think about a strip mall, if you have a movie theater and a Barnes & Noble and an Old Navy and a restaurant, the whole concept of them being in a mall together is they piggyback on each other's traffic, right? So the customer that goes to the movie theater might go to the Barnes & Noble, might go to the Old Navy, et cetera. Well, that's an example of compounding, and ideas can compound. And so I'm going to give you a simple formula, and it's GSA, and it stands for goal, strategy, action. So we've all heard of goal setting. We've all heard of create a strategy. We all heard of taking action. But the power of it is the combination of those three. So goal setting, clearly define what you want and write it down. My experience is that many people are not clear on what they want. Then if they are, I'll say, are you clear on what you want? And they go, yes. I go, great. What do you want? And they say, whatever they say. I want to get 10,000 views on my podcast or 10,000 listens on my podcast. Great. Is that written down? And a lot of times they say no. So goal, clearly define what you want, write it down. Strategy is your action plan. So then I'll say to somebody, if they want to get 10,000 views on their podcast, I'll say, do you have a strategy on how to do it? Let's say they say yes. Great. Is it written down? A lot of times they say no. And then A for action, it's actually massive action. So clearly define what you want, write it down. Create an action plan and write it down. And then take massive action on a daily basis. And if you bring those three things together, you can apply that to grades in school. You can apply it to a promotion at a company. You can apply it to increase business. You can apply it to your fitness. You can apply it to your faith. You can apply it to your marriage. You can apply it to a hobby. There's so many universal applications of that, but the power, it's the integration of those three concepts together.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, that whole concept of using the multiple things and bringing them together is just, yeah, that's something that I need to listen to and watch several times to really, for it to resonate at a level that you're sharing. That's
well, just take like fitness. Fitness is simple, right? Everybody understands fitness. So let's say somebody has a body fat goal or they want to be able to run a marathon or whatever. Write it down. Okay, what's your action plan? Take massive action on a daily basis. It's like, wow, I can do that. And if you actually write it down and create the action plan and you write the action plan down, you have the intention you're going to take massive action, you significantly increase the likelihood that you're going to pull that result into reality. And really what we're talking about is the science of personal achievement. This is what Brian Tracy taught, and the great Les Brown, Tony Robbins, etc., is they taught these principles that we all can learn from. And we can use them. Even me, a former cook at McDonald's and college dropout, right? A bottom producing sales guy. I'm the bottom guy in my sales, former cook at McDonald's, college dropout, and I can go on and build an international training company by applying the science of personal achievement.
Yeah, no, that's huge. That's huge. And while you were sharing that, one thing that came to mind was that I'm not sure if you get this a lot, but is there a way that you can demystify the whole idea of the field that you're in? And I know you have certain ways that you share, because coming in, I know for me, sales has been something that was kind of I was looked at it the way that the society brought it upon me. So I'm like, whoa, I don't want to be this sales guy per se.
Yeah.
And I learned the concepts that you shared, and it's been it's been amazing, and it's been a shift of looking at it in a different perspective. So is there something that you can share as far as like demystifying that whole idea of that the industry that you're in?
Yeah, the issue with sales is the stigma, right? There's a cultural hypnosis that sales is bad. People are uncomfortable with selling. I don't like sales. I don't want to sell. And the challenge is that as a business owner or an entrepreneur or a real estate agent, financial services person, we have a hat that we wear called sales. So if you're resistant to sales, if you're uncomfortable with sales, but you got to put your sales hat on, it doesn't help you close the sale. It's like if you and I are in a race and we're exactly the same speed on a 100-yard dash. We basically we end in a dead heat pretty much, right? We're the same speed. So this time we're going to run the race, but you have to jump over hurdles. So without the hurdles, we're the same speed. So now you got to jump over 3 or 4 hurdles in the 100 yards. I'm going to beat you every time. So if you resist selling, it's like putting up an imaginary hurdle, and it just makes things harder. So we have a paradigm shift. Instead of looking at sales as arm twisting, high pressure, and manipulation, we understand it's a skill set, like accounting, like leadership, like organization, like time management. Selling, time management, leadership, organization. It's a learned skill. It's not good or bad. It's just a skill set. But if you're going to put your sales hat on, you better be good at sales. Like you need to embrace sales, right? There's no reason to, if your sales hat's on and you're like this about sales, it makes it twice as hard to successfully enroll that person in your product or service. So I teach selling equals service, sell from honesty, integrity, and compassion. Selling is about leading. Selling is about moving people to action. And then I teach you say that to yourself again and again and again and again and again, because this is how you get a thought into the subconscious part of your brain. So we've all had that song, multiple songs. You're driving in your car, you start singing along with the radio. When did you set a goal to learn the words to the song? And the answer is you never did. So how did the song get into the mind? Repetition. Change begins in language. So we speak in an empowering way. Selling equals service, sell from honesty, integrity, and compassion. Selling is about leading. Selling is about moving people to action again and again and again. And you keep saying it, and you will put those thoughts into the subconscious mind. You'll let go of sales resistance. You'll embrace sales, and the rest is history as your income continues to soar and soar and soar. And this is all predictable. This isn't just me just saying this. This is a blueprint. You do the things that I'm telling you to do, at least in the area of sales. That's my area of expertise. You follow the blueprint and you're going to be better.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I want to thank you. Thank you for that. And thank you for taking the lead on that and owning that for yourself and for your family and your community. Okay. So for our watchers, the people that are listening in and that will be watching the replay, how can they find you online?
Well, first of all, I want to acknowledge all of you for being, here on the show as a listener or watcher of the show. And thank you for supporting Angel and me as the guest speaker. And I would love it if you would come and join my online sales community. I think we have the best online sales community in the world. And the hub website is continuoussalesimprovement.com, continuoussalesimprovement.com. And when you go there, you'll find all kinds of cool stuff that we do. We have a masterclass that's free. We have a Facebook group, a LinkedIn group. We have a networking event. I give away chapter 1 of my book for free. So just come and check out all the cool free stuff we have. Come be a part of the community. Angel's a part of my community, and I have thousands of people all over the world. It's all about positivity and setting goals and achieving and increased sales. So just go to continuoussalesimprovement.com, connect Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever resonates with you. And I would love to connect with you and have you be a part of our community. I want all of you to know you're welcome.
Awesome. Yes. And thank you, everyone who's chiming in as well. And so this is the School of Leadership Development radio show. We go live Wednesdays at noon Pacific. And we're excited. We're excited. I'm gonna end with this. This is one of the quotes that Eric talks about, and one of his mentors talks about it, and I share it, is that we believe that you have greatness inside of you. And I thank individuals like Eric that believe in me. There's been many other mentors and coaches that have believed in me before I believed in myself. And this whole idea of having greatness inside of us, it's true, if you believe it or not. So I just have a great rest of your Wednesday. You have greatness inside of you. Eric, you have greatness inside of you. And I'm super blessed to have you on our show today. And I'm looking forward to continuing our relationship for many years to come. And yeah, success, much love, and God bless everyone.
God bless, Angel. It was great to be with you today. And I acknowledge you for stepping up and creating this show so you can go out and have the impact that you're here to have.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right, Eric, take care.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.